Well, hi, I'm back. I'm ready to do our next weather lesson. So, in school, we were talking about the four seasons, and we talked about the fact that the four seasons were winter, spring, summer, and fall. And the other word that we used for fall was autumn. So, today I thought we would compare two of the seasons that we've talked a little bit about, winter and spring. They're also the seasons that we've just finished and we're just getting started with. So I want us to think about winter and spring, and I want us to think about a couple of different ways to describe winter and spring. I want to think about the precipitation, which is the weather that might be coming out of the sky. I want us to think about the temperature. I want us to think about the clothing we might wear during that season. And I want us to think about the activities that we might do during that season. So if we think about winter, what's the precipitation we might see in the winter? What might we get coming down from the sky? I'll give you a second to think. And go ahead and say right out loud what precipitation we would have during the winter. Okay, so I'm going to write down what I'm thinking of. And let's check and see if you had the same things I did. Snow, sleet. Can't think of anything else. We might even see hail. Okay. How about in the spring? What's the precipitation that we would have in the spring? Go ahead and say it right out loud what you think we have in the spring. Okay, and I'm going to write mine down. Light snow, and we actually saw that happen last week. And you know what? I woke up this morning and there was just a dusting of snow on the grass this morning. I know I would also see lots of this in the spring. Right? Rain. Maybe even a little freezing rain because sometimes it's still cold enough in the spring. Okay. All right, so let's think about the temperature. What's the temperature like in the winter? Go ahead and say right out loud what you think the temperature is like. All right. Did you say cold? Below freezing? And that would be below 32 degrees outside. All right. How about the temperature in the spring? What's the temperature like in the spring? And this spring, we've had lots of different types of temperature already, haven't we? All right, go ahead and say out loud what you think the temperature is like for our spring. And I'll write mine down. So it can still be chilly. Here, let's draw a line in between there. It can be chilly. It could be warm. It's not really cold like it is in the winter, but it's not hot like it is in the summer either. All right? So what kind of clothing would you wear in the winter? Go ahead and say right out loud the things that you would wear in the winter. Hint, hint. Think about the things we would put on before we'd go outside for recess. See if you can think of at least 4 things while I write mine. right, so you check with what you said and see if we had some of the same things. Boots, hat, gloves, snow pants, and a heavy jacket to keep us warm. Did you have those same things? All right, so let's check and see what might you wear in the spring. Go ahead and see if you can think of 3 things you might wear in the spring. Okay. Okay, so I put a jacket, a lighter jacket than you would wear in the winter. Or you could maybe have like a fleece jacket, something a little lighter. Rain boots, a rain hat. And you know something else that I would use? It's not really clothing, but I would use it to help protect myself in spring from the rain. Did anybody think of umbrella? All right. And then for the last thing, let's think about what activities do you do when it's winter? Go ahead and see if you can think of at least 3 things you would do in the winter. And I'm going to write down my ideas, okay? Then we'll compare. All right, see if you had any of the same things that I did. Sledding, snow angels, snowshoeing, going to ski, ice skating outside. Were those any of the same things that you had? Okay, all right. So now think about things that maybe you would do in the spring. Now that the weather's a little bit nicer, what have you done already? Go ahead and you think of yours while I write mine down. All right. Did you have any of the same things that I did? Go for a walk, ride bikes, go for a hike, fly a kite. And I bet you thought of some other things that maybe I didn't. All right. So I have an activity for you to do. It's actually in your weather book. And it looks like this. So we just talked about winter and we just talked about spring. So what I would like you to do is see if you can write 1 or 2 sentences about winter and 1 or 2 sentences about spring, and try to use some of the ideas that we came up with together about what the weather is like outside, what falls from the sky, what's the temperature, and maybe think about the clothing and the activities that you would do in the winter and in the spring. See if you can write me 2 sentences for each one of those. And when you finish, go ahead and have Mom take a picture of it and send it to me. I can't wait to see what you wrote. Have a great day.